Well, how you doing, buckaroos? If you can hear the music, I don't own any rights to any of it. Hey, right now we're listening to "That's Alright Mama" by the J-Roll Kings from the CD Off Yonder Wall. There we go. This is my DJ voice, so there you go. Hey, so I've got some Evan Williams Bourbon, neat, and rocks. I'm going to drink the rocks first before I get too much meltage going on there. From their website, excuse me while I scratch my nose. Allergies have been killing me. Evan Williams White Label is our signature 100 proof bottled in bond bourbon to be labeled as bottled in bond. A spirit must be the product of one distillation season and one distiller at one distillery, bottled at 100 proof and aged for at least 4 years under U.S. government supervision. Honestly, how much supervision can that really be? I digress. So I've got an ounce and a half poured neat. I've got an ounce and a half on the rocks. They tell you the color is bright gold. It seems it'll appear lighter in the rocks, but that seems like a deeper than bright gold to me. But okay. The nose caramel with a hint of vanilla, oak, and barley. They say the taste is citrus on top of vanilla and black pepper. Caramel with hints of vanilla, oak, and barley on the nose. Well, let's see what we got here. Yeah, you certainly feel some oak, vanilla. Yeah, they're pretty much right on. You might get some other things too. I mean, I'm getting a hint of spice on the nose. I mentioned the spice on the taste, but I'm getting just a slight hint of cinnamon on the nose. If I had to guess, I guess they were using Missouri white oak because that really imparts some deep spice notes. Because you really get a lot. They say black pepper. Yeah, I suppose there's some of that, but again, I'm feeling some cinnamon as well. It is 100 proof, so it is a whiskey that holds up fine if you want to drink it on the rocks. It'll hold up fine if you want to put it in a cocktail or a highball. My dad always drank whatever he was drinking, typically Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, or Wild Turkey. He drank it with water, meaning he would take his glass, put ice cubes in it, fill the whiskey up to about there, and then just hit it with water. That's how he drank his. Yeah, it's... but yeah, I mean, this again, it is 100 proof, so yeah, I mean, last night I popped it open and I went old school, and I don't have any Coke. I had some RC Cola, so I did 2 ounces of this with about 4 ounces of RC, and that was a nice highball. So there you go. But again, it's 100 proof. They say citrus on top of vanilla and black pepper. Yeah, I mean, I certainly guess. I get more. I'm going to break it down a little bit more than that. I'm going to say specifically I get some orange zest. Certainly get some oak and vanilla on the flavors as well. Again, they say black pepper. Sure, I definitely understand what they're saying about black pepper, especially in the finish. But I'm also feeling just the slightest snap of cinnamon as well. It's my first drink of the day on this glorious Friday afternoon. And decided to go straight to the whiskey. I've got some good beer. I'm going to have it. It went from about being 80 yesterday to about 45 today, man. It just dipped. So, yeah, I'm not getting out. I got my warm jammies on. Sometimes I'm not wearing pants. I've told you about that. I've got my jammies on. So I thought, well, I'm going to start with some whiskey, and then I've got some good beer I'm going to dip to later. But I thought this would be a fine place to start. Anyways, let's finish this up. I don't want to get too much ice going on here. This whiskey was it was under $14. It was like $13.59, I believe. It was an odd price, I remember thinking at the time. I was going to pick up the Jim Beam Bourbon Bond. I didn't have a lot of money, and that one was on sale for $19.99. That's a fine whiskey for the money. And I hadn't seen the Evan Williams Bourbon Bond before, and they had this here for $13.59, 100 proof. A similar story. So I figured, let's try it. $6 left, saved me about $6. So I figured, let's give it a shot. I would like to have had the Jim Beam to do a side by side with him, if you know what I mean. But the truth is, this isn't a bad whiskey, especially for the money. It's a damn fine whiskey for the money, in my opinion, because it's easy to drink. I mean, I know whiskey snobs don't like you to use the word smooth, but I mean it's not harsh. It doesn't make you go like that. It's not difficult to drink. I mean, I've got some on. I got some neat I'm going to have here in a little bit. I think if you wanted to do a shot, which I don't typically do shots, I would do a chilled shot as opposed to just pour it right out of the bottle. That's just me, though. But look at that. There's no. Oh gosh, a little bit of water though in this really helps. It really brings out the sugars. That's they mentioned caramel with hints of vanilla, oak, it's on the nose. Taste, top of vanilla and black pepper. They don't mention any sweetness. I'm getting almost like a hint of brown sugar in there. But as you can see, that's very easy to drink. I mean, there's no face being made. So yeah, for a $14 bourbon, 100 proof bourbon, that's damn fine. I think some people just like to get snobby and brag about spending too much, I like to sneak inexpensive whiskeys on folks when they're not paying attention. Give them a shot of something, give them a shot of something else, and see if they can tell which is what. I've done that before to some friends, and they always pick out the one they think is the most expensive. Oh, I like this one, and several times when I've done that, I've had friends pick out the least expensive of the three that I've given them. I did 3 bourbons once to a friend. I'm not going to mention his name. And the most inexpensive was the regular 4 Roses, the yellow label 4 Roses. And that was, at the time, that was about a $15 price point. I had another bourbon at a $30 price point, another bourbon at a $50 price point. And the one he liked best out of those 3 was the yellow roses. But had he known the price points, he'd have picked the other ones. Oh yeah, see now, neat. I'm feeling more oak. It's a little more oaky. I do get more of the citrus also. Again, I'm feeling it. They just say citrus. I'm feeling like a dried orange zest, like a dried orange peel, I guess. Like you'd use in the winter for a spice cake or something like that. That's kind of how I'm feeling it. On top of vanilla and black pepper. Yeah, see now, with a little melt off going on, with a little meltage, with a little water melted in there, I felt more of the sugars. I'm feeling it just about exactly how they're talking about here. A citrus on top of vanilla and black pepper. I'm not feeling that sugars as I was getting with the rocks version. And although I certainly feel black pepper, I'm also, again, I also feel a hint of cinnamon as well. So there you go. There you go. Yes. Anyways, I hope you all are having a glorious Friday as we go into the weekend. I'm kind of beat, man, to be honest with you. I feel like I've been fighting off something for a couple weeks now. I deal with sinus infection this time of year, and I feel like I've been fighting off sinusitis. I haven't succumbed yet, but I think it's the whiskey. I think the whiskey's keeping it from me, but I feel like I'm right at it, you know what I mean? I feel like I've just been barely. But today I'm feeling a little more tired and run down and achy than usual, so... Starting with this, I got a couple stouts to drink, and I may end the night with a hot toddy of sorts. So we'll see how it goes. And the whiskey does seem to help, man. Sometimes the old ways are the best. I'm a guy that likes to take pills, or really the only thing I take is I take a Claritin a day and a Prevacid a day. Those are my drugs, man. Yeah, I don't want to deal with those opioids, and there was a time when I was taking a whole lot of Aleve, though. I was taking a lot, and that really took its toll on my belly. So I've tried to, I haven't given it up completely, but I don't take that much anymore. It's probably been a week since I've had any. But I can feel it, too. I know when I don't take any at all for a week or so, the joints really ache. I mean, you can watch me drink this. I'm making no face, and keep in mind this is an under $14 100 proof bourbon. So yeah, I mean, you can be snobby if you want. I mean, some people say, "Well, I don't buy anything under X." You know, hey man, it's your money. Do what you want. You want to be a pretentious snob, be a pretentious snob. Me, I'm about finding what's good for the right money, and this really isn't bad. There was a time in the past, so I probably wouldn't have bought a bourbon like this. But I have to admit, I mean, what snobbery and pretentiousness I had, I was wrong. This really isn't a bad bourbon at all. I've had more nuanced bourbons at a higher price point, but this is very drinkable. I mean, it's not hard to drink. There's not a lot of burn. You know, it is 100 proof bourbon, so you're gonna want a little bit of burn, but there isn't an inappropriate amount of burn, I guess. Now, Bad Luck from Tommy Castro and the Painkillers from the CD Method to My Madness. Yeah, Tommy Castro, man. If you've never seen Tommy Castro, I wish we could get some commercial radio. Really blows, doesn't it? I mean, I wish some commercial radio would play Tommy Castro, would play Joe Bonamassa, would play Anthony Gomes, Walter Trout, Jimmy Thackeray. I think these artists that I mentioned, I think, would be more popular commercially if commercial radio played them. You know, they pick and choose who gets airplay. These songs are great, man, and if more people were allowed to hear them, I mean, I've done experiments too, but I've had people tell me they don't like blues, and I've played contemporary blues. I've played Jimmy Thackeray, Walter Trout, Tommy Castro for friends that said, "Wow, that's pretty good. Who is this?" And I tell them that's blues, man. You know, in many cases, what people think are blues, you know, it isn't what they think. You know, some of them just don't like old school blues. Not necessarily anything wrong with that. I personally do, but contemporary blues is a little bit different, man. Listen to guys like Keb Mo. Damn. I mean, I'm just saying, man. One of my favorites is a regional artist. Doesn't have a national contract. Regional artist Scott Keaton used to have a band, Scott Keaton and the Deviants. But man, this kid, he's not a kid anymore. He was a youngster when I met him. But that was almost 20 years ago. I mean, he's just amazing, and it just, you know, I just can't believe he doesn't have a national record deal because he really is that good. Oh. Yeah, that's the way to start the day. Ounce and a half it is, so I'm starting with 3 ounces of 100 proof bourbon. I'm going to take it down a notch from here. I've got a couple beers. I've got the Public House Brewing Company Giddy Goat coffee milk stout, and I said a couple stouts. I actually just have the one stout, and then I decided to revisit last week. I revisited the Oscar Blues Old Chub Scotch Ale. This week I decided to revisit the Founders Dirty Bastard Scotch Ale, and then much like last week, I added an IPA into the mix. One of the best beer values out there, man, is the Hop Rising, Squatters Hop Rising Double IPA. It's a 9% double IPA, and I found it for $8.99 a 6-pack. I shit you not. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. So anyways, I'm going to end this. Oh, darn.